feeling golden, lost in the moment. It's taking over me. Keep your composure, you know that I want ya. Can you just hold that beat? Just turn the lights up, baby.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's Michael Beck and
I'm still Chad Orr. Tank.
And now we are here with our friends from Foodbuy, Mr. Michael Barbier, who is the head of food.
Vice President of Food Service.
Vice President of Food Service. See, this is one thing we're here to do with them is demystify and educate the community on what Foodbuy is and why they're here and who you help. Thank you for coming on the show first off, Michael.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
It's a genuine pleasure. So I'm relatively new to the term, actually, so I'm actually your audience on this, and it's perfect.
Okay.
What does Foodbuy do?
Okay, so we're a GPO, or a group purchasing organization.
Okay.
So really what that means is we compile or aggregate buckets of spend.
Okay.
Leverage that spend with manufacturers and suppliers in contracting, and then make those contracts available to our member community.
Okay, so this isn't just food. This is technology or hardware mostly, or like what are the things
all
that
aspects
covers?
of food service spend.
Okay.
So food, non-foods, disposables, packaging, as well as services, what we would call indirect spend. And I guess you could probably consider technology as part of that.
Mm-hmm.
But really anything that's purchased through a food service operation, be it restaurants or hotels or golf courses or what have you, most of that could potentially be covered by a program in our portfolio.
That makes a lot of sense, and the more you get in the pile, the better your buying power is, right?
Correct. So our parent organization is Compass Group, which is the largest food service operator in North America.
Wow.
So what we're leveraging there is $35 billion in food service spend.
$35 billion. That's annual?
Annual.
Holy shnikes, that's a lot.
That's a lot, yes.
To me, my brain pops up QSCC, IPC for Subway, QSCC for Wendy's. That's kind of their version of it at a local level, right?
Somewhat. It's they're managing those direct contracts for their group, correct? And we're managing our supplier contracts to support our Compass partners and to support our member restaurants.
How many rooftops is that? Do you have an idea how vast? I mean, how many?
About 85,000.
Sorry.
Yep.
But big numbers.
It's a big number.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chad, I know you had some questions before you got on here.
I'm just curious, how do you leverage that for your members? Does it show up in the terms of just their pricing of what they get? Do they change what they order for going forward because of what you're bringing to the table?
That's a great question.
Like, how do they get the savings or the benefit?
Sure, great questions, Chad. So the savings come in pricing and rebate, right? There's really two components to it. So they would see lower prices into their operations, and then there's a rebate component there as well. Our most common engagements with new members are no change. You make no change. You just overlay our contracts onto your existing spend.
That's common.
It is. It's that first step. It's figuring out, okay, in partnering with Foodbuy, how do I see immediate value? And that's how you see it. You change nothing. You latch onto our contracts and realize those savings, and then we dig deeper beyond that. If we've got opportunities to leverage a better supplier agreement that might mean a product change, then we work through those processes to try to drive maximum value.
But they can still maintain the integrity of their menu if they work with Foodbuy. They don't have to change anything if they don't have to.
Correct. They're not required to do anything,
right?
And everything is opt-in, right? So they don't have to. They can pick and choose which contracts, which programs they want to use, so they're not required to use any specific distributor or to purchase any specific products through our programs. It's completely opt-in.
So who's your ideal customer? Everybody, or there's got to be
it's got to be some size behind it, some spend behind it, because we've got to have the distributors reporting that data, right? That's how we would track it. So that's really
the 10 to 20 units. Is there a cutoff number?
There's not really a cutoff. It's often based on the requirements of the distributor. If we look at broadline distributors, they may have some thresholds for size when they will report into Foodbuy and implement our programs. So, however, we have independent single unit operators as members, and we've got chains with hundreds of locations as members, and everywhere in between.
So when you're talking about the kind of numbers you are and spend, or the operators, the number of manufacturers you must work with, what are like the critical systems or technologies, internal or external, that make that work?
Right. So we have a number of technology partners and technology options that we offer to our members. We have our Empower platform, which is our member portal. It's where the member would access their spend data, would access program information, would see the savings and the rebate values that we're delivering to them, and it's how we communicate new program announcements or program changes or new opportunities is all right there in that portal.
Neat.
Yeah.
Well, part of the thing that you shared with us earlier is that it's just not enough people even have heard of the company. How is that even possible?
So it's interesting. A lot of people have heard of us, but they're not sure who we are, what we do.
Yeah.
Right. So it's great to have an opportunity like this to kind of talk about the basics of what we do.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised, there are some large chain operators out there who maybe don't work with a GPO, aren't really familiar with the GPO space. So we love opportunities like that to educate and talk about what we do. This is our core competency. So
you hit on something very important, the GPO space, right? So there's others that are going to do something similar to you. How do you differentiate against all the other GPO type organizations?
Sure. So I think, number one is our size. We're the largest in North America. So the scope obviously is an advantage for us. We're also what would be considered a source GPO. Compass, as our parent organization, has all these operations and all this spend behind it. This is real operational spend. So we're not latching on to other programs, and we're not a reseller of contracts, right? We are the source holder of those contracts, and that's a key differentiator. There are other operators in the GPO space that would be resellers, that they're accessing some other GPO's programs. So that's important for folks who are learning about the GPO space to understand that source GPO is where you're going to derive really the maximum value and potential in a GPO partnership.
Michael, does it go down as far down the rabbit hole as this, your own farms? And are you guys having your own ag, or is this negotiated source? Have you guys taken
really
that step?
So I think we hit areas like diverse suppliers, minority suppliers, sustainable suppliers.
Yep.
We have a supplier incubator program. Well, we will partner with farms or local producers and try to accelerate them into our programs in front of our members and into Compass. Right. We're a large organization. It can be difficult for a new supplier to break in with us. So we do put resources to developing new suppliers, developing unique suppliers and smaller local.
And I'm sure sustainability is mixed in that kind of stuff as well.
100%.
So for brands that are really interested in working with you, right? Like, hey, I got 20 units, we're clicking along, we're interested in really optimizing our supply chain and getting better value, or for the things that we're purchasing. What's the best way to engage with you to get these conversations going?
Sure. Best way is to go to our website, foodbuy.com. Foodbuy operates in restaurants, which would be our food service channel, which is where I sit. We're in lodging, so our hospitality channel would be gaming, lodging, and then we are in golf courses. We're in healthcare and education. So all of those channels would be available to you on the foodbuy.com website. And there are forms a quick little form you can fill out to show interest, and we'd be contacting you. Feel free to please share my information, and anybody who wants more information can contact me directly as well.
And they can find you on LinkedIn. That's how I got you.
On LinkedIn, yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
And so this has been fantastic. Last question: when it comes to the fun of tariffs, right? We have some wobbles here and there, and I don't want to be political at all, but more the pressures that this might be putting on, or some of the relief you guys might provide to your users. I imagine having a group buying behind you would really help mitigate some of that.
It can, yes. And the tariffs are, nobody wants to talk about it right now.
But it's around here.
But yes. So one of the advantages we would bring is because of our size and scale, if a supplier wants an increase, we don't just accept it.
Right.
So there's significant muscle behind that in fighting for our operators and our members to ensure that we mitigate any increases that could be.
I love that. So I take from that is actually Foodbuy will help fight for your cost of goods to keep it as where it belongs for as long as possible.
Very well said.
I love that. Michael, thank you so much for
Thank you.
investing this time with us today. Thank you for sponsoring
It's our pleasure.
the
Thank you. It's great to be
Influencer
here.
Row. Yeah,
Thank you.
it's really an honor. And we hope to see you around having a great time at the rest of the show. You'll probably be at the branded shindig this evening.
We'll be there tonight. Yes.
We'll have a lot of fun. So, Michael, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank
Absolutely.
you, Michael. Chad, thank you. Appreciate it.
Guys, this has been another episode of Chat GTM here from the Restaurant Leadership Conference. This is Michael Barbier with Foodbuy. Look him up if you want to know more. And we'll be seeing you here in a little bit for our next episode.
I'm feeling golden, lost in the moment. It's taking over me. Keep your composure, you know that I want ya. Can you